Hey guys! You've probably seen the massive internet war between SEABlings and KNetz lately. Just a quick recap for those who missed it. It all started with a Korean fan site at the Day 6 concert in Malaysia who refused to follow the rules regarding large DSLR cameras. When criticized, they acted like hey, we are owned K-pop. It escalated quickly on X, Twitter, when KNetz started making racist remarks, calling Southeast Asians uneducated and even attacking Indonesian women's appearances. Well, they poked the wrong nest. Indonesian medicines, known for being fiercely solid, fought back. Now it's spiraling into boycotts of K-dramas and K-products. In this video, I've summarized a few clips to explore, is South Korea really that racist? I won't jump to conclusions because this involves deep social and cultural layers, so I'll let you guys be the judge based on these Korean creators' perspectives.
And as a Korean person, let me just say this. Me too. I grew up chubby and closeted gay in the 80s and 90s. So I had a childhood bully. And I recently stood up to that childhood bully. I said, you can't talk to me like that. She was not happy. Her name is Amma. That's right. My childhood bully was my Korean mom. I know exactly what you're going through. Koreans can be the meanest, most brutal, most honest, to your face, nasty people in the world. All at the same time, arrogant, supremacists. We believe our shit don't stink. And there's a reason for that. Korea deals with an inner feeling called Han. Slow, bubbling rage that comes from being colonized and oppressed by Japan and China over and over and over and over again. And because of this, we carry around a victim mentality. I've never processed trauma. They just carry it around with them. Which is why hurt people hurt people. Koreans going to the Philippines and acting a fool. Going to Vietnam, acting a fool. Going to Malaysia, acting a fool. Because when someone doesn't process their trauma and they believe they are the victim of their story, they are never going to look within themselves to see what's wrong within. These are the type of Koreans you're dealing with. There are a lot of different Koreans out here, and they're not like that.
So Southeast Asians are beefing with South Koreans, and as a South Korean, when I hear you guys say, oh, Koreans are racist, capitalist, greedy, class obsessed, starved for white attention, Western attention, pick-me-shas, obsessed with money, obsessed with power, obsessed with climbing the political and social and work ladder. We consider ourselves supremacists. We are better than everyone. Our music is better than... We're better at everyone else at taking the American ideals of greed and unfettered capitalism and completely losing our souls. So much so that we have let our country be taken over by corporations and conglomerates that run. Corporations like Samsung and LG completely run the country and the nation. And that's why our presidents have always been crooks and criminals. And that's why some of them even unalive themselves and bring in witches into the Blue House. You know what I say as a Korean? You're right.
One is from Peter S. Kim, a Korean living in the US. He shares how he experienced racism from his own people back in Korea since he was young. It seems the issue is deeply rooted internally too.
I've just become aware of the whole Seabling versus Korea thing, and honestly, I will say, being Korean myself, it's not really that hard to see where they're coming from. In the Twitter interactions, like all of those things are super out of line that the KNetz, the Korean citizens, were tweeting. But also, I think the discourse at hand is finally bringing to light a very pervasive issue of colorism in Korea. I myself, being not pale and not pale by Korean standards at all, have experienced a little bit of feeling like I'm lower class, maybe because I'm not pale, because I'm tan. I love my mom, but like she's pale and my dad is tan, and like my two other siblings are pale, and like she'll always group them together, whereas like me and my dad are kind of like separate and like similar personalities, just like the same people basically in her head, which is like, you know, that could be true, but like she attributes a lot of negative things about us together, and maybe that's not about color, except that sometimes she does make it about how we're both tan. And I don't know. This is just a very interesting thing going on right now, and you know, there is a lot of truth to Koreans being racist, so yeah.
Next, look at Lil Miss Propitious. She's objectively beautiful, right? But she feels insecure just because her skin isn't pale enough by Korean standards. Their beauty standards are honestly on another level of pressure. Then we have Jinwoo Park, who reminds us of history. Countries like the Philippines and Thailand were heroic allies during Korea's war times. Have the modern KNetz forgotten who helped them stand on their feet? Makes you wonder.
님들 진짜 왜 이럽니까? 또 상기시켜드려야 돼요. 예? 우리가 세계에서 가장 가난한 나라였을 때 동남아 국가들이 우리를 도와줬다는 걸 1만 2천 명에 달하는 태국 군인과 7,500명이 넘는 필리핀 군인들이 한국 전쟁에서 싸웠습니다. 또 언급해야 돼요. 예? 율동전투. 예? 900명의 필리핀 병력이 수만 명의 중국군을 상대로 UN 방어성 전체가 무너지는 것을 막았다는 그 이야기를 또 해야 됩니까? 태국은 그 전쟁에 군함 4척이랑 수송선 1척을 보냈습니다. 진짜 막대한 자원 투비였어요. 또 제임스타운 방어선 유지하는데도 엄청난 기여를 했다고요. 태국군이 Little Tigers라는 별명을 얻은 데 이유가 있어요. 동남아시아는 별개로 또 콜롬비아도 있었죠. 네, 전투 병력을 파병한 유일한 라틴 아메리카 국가였으면서 제한된 병력과 자원에도 불구하고 1951년부터 1953년까지 그 전쟁의 가장 소모적인 시간 동안 치열한 최전선번 전투들을 용감하게 감당했습니다. 요점은 이거예요. 우리가 알고 있는 오늘날의 대한민국이라는 이 국가의 존재는 이 모든 기여자들 덕분인데도 한국인들은 이걸 일상적으로 잊고 있는 것 같아요. 더 나쁜 건 누구한테 감사할지 선택적으로 골라낸다는 거예요. 예? 특히 서구 강대국들. 이건 정말 비열한 인종차별 뿐입니다. 이러면 안 돼요, 진짜. 예? 스스로 막 제국주의의 피해자라고 이렇게 하면서 동시에 이런 그릇된 민족적 우월감에 사로잡혀 있으면 안 된다는 겁니다. 그러니까 좀 겸손해집시다. 예. 자기 얼굴에 침 뱉지 말고요. 예, 캔드릭 라마 알죠? Sit down. Be humble.
Even people in the West are talking about this. Check out this reaction from rapper named Candace. Even she's baffled by this internet war.
SEABlings versus South Korea. Y'all, they still going at it. I did get a little bit more information on what happened. South Korean fan side was not allowed concert or meet and greet because he had a professional grade camera. It wasn't allowed because they didn't want any cameras or any technology blocking the view of people that came to see the show. Rightfully so. So after going back and forth about who was right and who was wrong, that's when South Korea fired back about the looks as well. SEABlings let me know that they do it for the love of the game, not because they want to win. And unfortunately, South Korea took the bait. They started destroying South Korea on Twitter. I'm not going to tell you about some of the things that they said. Just go into my last post. They're still going at it. SEABlings also let me know that they fight each other for sport. They are like siblings for real. Yeah, me and my sister and my brother might fight, but you better not say nothing to my sister or we're going to fight you. That's exactly what they did. They all came together collectively to whoop South Korea's ass. They said South Korean bully culture might work in South Korea, but it's not going to work with us. They are even going as far as to boycott South Korean products. No, South Korea got some good products. That doesn't seem like a big factor to the SEABlings when it comes to respect. I hope my Asian brothers and sisters can get over this mess one day, but who knows what the future holds.
The big question is, don't these KNetz realize that Southeast Asia is their biggest market? Attacking your primary consumers with racism is a risky move. Racism is a global enemy, and this could seriously damage the trust in their industry. We'll see how the Korean public, or even their government, reacts to this. And for my fellow Seabling, giving a shock therapy to racists is fine, but let's keep our cool. Don't let us become the very thing we hate. We don't want to accidentally mirror their behavior, right? What do you think? Let's discuss in the comments.